Yeah, just like being a fucking pizza delivery guy isn't going to get you laid at orgies. Watching Disney Channel movies as some kind of inspiration for how love works isn't going to do you any favors.
Yeah, I noticed that people just eat that stuff right up. I noticed that they call it, it's like Hollywood romance. It's never what reality is.
You're right. Just stop. Just watch what women do. Stop listening to them. Watch their behavior, and you'll see the truth. Like, just, what is it? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. That's good words to live by.
Precisely. Now, I used to say all the time to my ex that actions speak louder than words. And she used to say, "Oh, that's right, yeah, and agree with it." But yet, every time she would always contradict herself. I mean, when she say something, she'd just do the opposite. And I mean, I'd say it over and over again, and she'd keep on agreeing, keep doing the opposite thing. So, it's like some people you just can't teach.
No, well, this is the truth. Okay, children respect consequences. People in general, when words fail, consequences always work. So you ratchet up the punishment until the behavior stops. That's how that works. And unfortunately, in societies where it is illegal for a man to do that, then your society dies. Because you've now, just like if a society passed laws saying it was illegal for parents to discipline their kids. It is illegal. You cannot discipline your children because that hurts their self-esteem and that hurts their psyche, and shouting at them and telling them what to do. I'm not talking child abuse. I'm just talking discipline. All of that is abuse. So you just imagine if they applied the Duluth model to children, where withholding money from children or telling them no in any way was abuse. Children would turn out to be flaming pieces of shit, and people would stop having kids because it would just be a nightmare to try to raise a family with those laws, and then that society would quickly die, and rightfully so. And that's what's happening. Like, we're all the good men. I wonder where they went. It's a fucking Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo mystery where all the good men went. Dumb bitch. All right. Let's move on to the next article. This is a fun little slice of life article from Yahoo News. Can a club for women legally exclude men? New York City launches probe. Okay. This is from March 29th, 2018. This is from the current year. So they're building these safe spaces for women, and they're legally excluding men, which completely violates the law. Completely. Like, the law says you cannot discriminate based on the basis of sex, gender, race, religion, so on and so forth. So you cannot just carve out an exception. Oh, except if they're men, or except if they're white, or except if they're Christian. Everyone else but them. No, dumbass. The laws are written in a neutral way. You cannot discriminate against anyone. Now, due to the magic of gynocentrism and selective enforcement, a lot of times men won't try to invade a female space because they'll be shamed for it. And a lot of times the cops won't press charges against a company discriminating against men or white people or Christians because of the favoritism and the politics of it. But the law is still neutral. So if you get sued, the person suing you is going to win because you are violating the law even if it's not enforced. So it's funny, they're launching a probe in 2018. They're like, I wonder if this club is violating the law by discriminating against men. I wonder. Like, it is, duh. And the thing is, I'm fine. I don't want this club shut down because it's discriminating against men. What I want men to have spaces of their own again. I want this. Look, let women have their safe spaces. I don't give a shit. Men will even build and maintain them, but let them have their own spaces. Stop invading everything. None of this fucking diversity, inclusion, horse shit. Let men have their space. Stop trying to make everything feminism. That's all I want. Fucking, you can have your curves. You can have your fucking women-only clubs. I don't give a shit. But stay out of male spaces. If we want your company, we will call seeking arrangements. And we will schedule a date. But unless I pick up the phone and call you on Backpage to schedule a blowjob, I don't want your company. You want to have any thoughts? This is kind of a short article.
Yeah. I should
Celestina's got
probably
some
move
fun.
my light forward a little bit.
Speaking of
And put a
society
darker
collapsing
background
without
on it,
punishment,
and
someone need to
it'd probably
curb
make
stomp
me
Mark
look a
Howard
lot
trying to blame
better.
#white genocide on Mjidal.
Improve the
I don't even know who that is. Mark
aperture,
Colvett?
maybe?
Who is that?
Or is...
Well, I got a cough.
I understand photography, I just can't think of the word to describe what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Dynamic range,
people
something.
send me links to these like videos
Anyway,
I'm
I
supposed to
darkened up
respond
behind me
to,
and
but
my face gets
I'm so
brighter.
busy now. And also, just as an alert, is everybody gone? Am I just talking to myself? Everybody's so
No,
quiet.
I'm
Did
listening.
my Discord
Yeah,
crash?
I'm
Okay,
here.
if I'll make
I'm
sure.
here.
You never know. You never know. I thought the Discord might have crashed. But okay.
Yeah, you are talking to yourself. This
Right.
is all an illusion.
Yeah, right. It's all figment of my imagination. No, okay. So when my channel was terminated, I picked up some extra work, and unfortunately, I've already taken it on, so I can't get out of it now. Now that my channel's been restored, I wasn't expecting my channel to be restored, honestly. So I have to wait for this work I volunteered for to basically be done before I can get back to my normal content creation. So the videos are going to be a little bit. I mean, I still produce a video a day, but it's not going to, I used to do 2 videos a day, and, that'll come back, but I'm just a little bit busy right now because I picked up some extra work thinking my channel was terminated. So, that's that.
Pay the bills.
Yeah, but send me a link to that Mark Colvett video blaming the fertility rate on MGTOW, because that's a casebook example of blaming men. Like, MGTOW is a reaction to gynocentrism. If feminism and gynocentrism hadn't won, MGTOW wouldn't exist. I mean, there'd still be bachelors, there'd still be guys going their own way and seeking self-actualization, but there wouldn't be this movement, this online community called MGTOW. The only reason why that exists is because feminism and gynocentrism won. And then to blame MGTOW, which is a reaction to feminism and gynocentrism, for what feminism and gynocentrism did is textbook white knighting. You're blaming the men for what the women did. You're blaming the male victims, the men trying to protect themselves from the bullshit, for the bullshit itself. It's dumb. It's like, imagine you live in a country with some kind of epidemic, like the Black Plague or something like that, right? So people are wearing these masks to try to keep themselves from getting sick. They're staying indoors. They're not going outside because they don't want to get the plague. And then people are like, oh, these people barricading themselves in their house wearing masks to protect themselves from disease. They're causing all these deaths. All these deaths from the plague are being caused by these people barricading themselves in their house. Thank you for the subscription. That doesn't make any sense. They're protecting themselves from the plague. They're not causing the plague. MGTOW are not causing the fertility rate drop. They are protecting themselves from what is causing the fertility rate drop. The fertility rate drop is caused by empowering women. I mean, I use this chart showing the fertility rate in Japan. As soon as women were given legal equality, the fertility rate was cut in half. Like, immediately. It just fell. And they've done studies, like in the Middle East, like in Iran. Iran is a Muslim country. They're somewhat patriarchal, they're conservative, and yet they have a pretty low fertility rate as far as the Muslim world is concerned because they're fairly Western, and they allow their women to be educated and get jobs. And lo and behold, their fertility rate is dog shit. That's your problem. That is the problem. Now, MGTOW are not, we're not encouraging women to go to college and go have careers. That's the problem. MGTOW are not standing in the way of that or promoting that. So blaming MGTOW is fucking retarded. You're just being a white knight. You're blaming men for what women do because you're a cuck. And because you refuse to stand up to your women for whatever reason. Maybe you are a cuck. Maybe you're so gynocentric you can't see the truth in front of your face. Maybe just the dominance instinct. You're just looking for a group of men to blame because it's easier to blame another group of men than to blame your own women. I don't know. But that's your problem. So kindly go fuck yourself with a pineapple. All right. Moving on to the next one.
Pineapple.
Specifically, and I want like stem first. Stem first, then the body of the pineapple. And you need to be singing the SpongeBob theme song the whole time. All right. Next article.
Pineapple down under the sea.
Oh, Lord, come on.
This is from via the College Fix, and this is actually from Zero Hedge. So, women might get raped if they debate men. So this college debate tournament banned men. And they're not talking about, this is what's funny.
Okay, and here's what I've been kind of studying on myself in my head tonight for me has been the word discrimination gets used a lot. And the way I was raised had put into me, and even looking it up on online, I'll explain in a second, it seems like it's a bad thing. Discriminate. Oh my God, he discriminates. You're a bad person because you discriminate. Hell no, you're a smart person. And you're going to be better off because of it. The word that has the potential to be bad, that it's confused with. And that's what my point about being brought up. And even looking it up online on the Wikipedia, was that the word prejudice is the one that has the potential to be bad, not discrimination. Prejudice is what's in your heart, or in your mind, or your soul, or who you are, or your personality, or who you were and what you're going to be and what you're doing now. Prejudice is about what's going on inside of here, and nobody but you and whoever you're honest with and believes you knows what you really think about African Americans and Hispanics and Asians, and the list goes on. If you have any kind of superiority complex or ill will towards them in the back of your head, then that can be considered a prejudice, I imagine, because that's emotions and feelings. If they're based on facts, maybe it's justified, and like I said, that's where it could be a bad thing or turn into a bad thing, but it's not. The word prejudice itself and what it is isn't itself bad. It's what comes out of it, or your particular direction that your prejudice is going into, and the subject is too, but not the prejudice itself. Like, to be prejudiced against illegal immigrants, particularly the Mexicans, if I'm prejudiced against them because they're coming in here against the law and they're taking our laws and not paying taxes but getting our benefits, I could imagine that would be justified because the facts back it up, give you a reason to not like them being here. And this is where discrimination comes in. If you do something about it and act out about it, and that could be as simple as just responding truthfully to somebody who asks you, hey, what do you think about them being here? I don't like it. And I'm going to sign a petition to have them removed. Well, I'm discriminating now. I'm doing something to try to change something about something. And unfortunately, it is based on some kind of ethnicity, because that's just a fact that has to be involved. And it's coincidence that they're all from Mexicans, so they're called Mexicans. Not that everybody from Mexican is bad, but the ones that break the law coming here and, Now, that I've said all this, the thoughts occurred to me, though, that in reality, the real perpetrator of problems in all this really is the government. Because if the government would handle the immigration situation with moral, logical, and legal mentality, and had the backbone and the bravery to do their job thick or thin without wavering, racist, prejudice, all that wouldn't even exist in this nonsense, fantastical type. Ooh, careful, don't touch it. No, it would be more like I'm describing it now. Like, it's just, it's 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. You know, okay, so, like I said, so discriminating isn't bad. Discriminating is actually a sign of character, of good foundation, knowing who you are, what you want, and where you're going, and what you think of what's going on, and bravery, of course, because you're standing up for yourself and not wavering to outside manipulation, you know, unless it's logical and it changes, you know, scientific thought and fact in your head, and, you know, hey, I got something to think about, work on, and learn. But if it's nonsense, then you get like me and you're just like out the door with it, and let's go listen to something that actually adds up and makes sense. Okay, so anyway, the problem with prejudice, okay, is, and again, I think it's artificially, I don't want to say created, but inflated by our government. So it's not completely stupid people's fault. I mean, it's hard to say, can you blame a stupid person for being stupid? Kind of. But not. I don't see. And I've actually got a little bit of room to speak in this situation because I am born retarded. I was born missing 20% of my brain thanks to my biological birth giver doing drugs while she was pregnant with me. You know, and I do have a deficit when it comes to absorbing certain things in life, and my focus is kind of bizarre compared to most people. You know, you point to something and say, you know, hey, look at that gate over there, you know, dangling, and I looked in the back of the minivan I was riding in and thought, tailgate a van dangling, there's a gas can back there that's a little, you know, tipsy. I'm thinking, I need to go back there and make sure no gas spilt or anything. And no, he was talking about literally out his rearview mirror, he saw a gate in a trash pile that was dangling that, you know, he was thinking, hey, let's go pick it up and see if we can salvage it or something. But you see my point. So, you know, so it's not that I'm stupid, it just took me a minute to, oh, wait, he's talking about a gate, not the tailgate. Dangling, he's not talking about the gas can tipping, he's talking about literally dangling. You know, so my mind is a little over complex to make up for the part that was missing when I was born. You know, so I am a little bit of I am a retard in a way, but I'm also sheer genius. And some of my reflexes, especially when it comes to certain processing abilities, is unbelievably lightning fast. I mean, wow, I amaze myself at my ability to respond without even having to process because I've already done it and memorized it. My memory is amazing. Wow. In fact, that was my biggest worry, fear, and continual little worry in my head somewhere that I'm not going to remember things. I'm not going to remember who I was. I'm not going to remember my address. I'm not going to remember who raised me. It's the opposite. I remember too much. Oh my God. And I can constantly repeat and reprocess it over for hours and hours. And, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. But anyway, all right, so I'm going about 20 minutes. You know, part of this is to help support my friends over there, Turn Fleeing Monkey, because YouTube's doing some real bad crap, taking their stuff down, especially when it's good stuff, man. You know, it's might be discriminating, which is good, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've heard on anything in here that's pure heart prejudice. It's just intelligent response to what's going on around them. There's no hate, and there's no desire to get revenge. It's just simply, just like MGTOW says, man going their own way. Not your way, not their way, our way. Mine, his, everybody else's. Good morning, everybody. Have a nice day.